Hi everyone. Good evening. Um,
Good evening.
yeah, good evening. Cheryl, can we start or should we wait for more people to join? We're 14 right now.
Yeah, good evening.
Mhm. Hi Cheryl, are you here?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I'm here. Um, I mean, we are good to start. But I guess we can just crave the indulgence of people and give people 2 to 3 minutes, then we're good to go.
Oh, all right. That's fine. Thanks.
All right, got it. Hello? Yeah, hello, princess. I guess we can actually start now.
Okay, no problem. Hi everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you very much for joining the events this evening. So today, Shane will be sharing with us on positioning yourself for global opportunities as a product manager, and I'm really excited. I'm hopeful that we're going to learn a lot today from Shane, and I hope that we're all attentive as he starts the talk, so that we too can also gain from this event. So, Shane, I think we can just start from your end. I mean.
All right, thank you, everybody. So, I assume we can all see the screen. So today I'm privileged on talking about positioning yourself for global opportunities as a product manager. I want to start by saying a big thank you to Princess and the community for having me this evening. It's a great privilege and I do not take it for granted. So yeah, big thank you there. All right, so I'm going to dive right into it. So please confirm you can actually see the slide presentation and not my face.
Yeah, we can see the slides.
All right, awesome. Okay, so just a quick one about me. I'm an ex-software engineer. I used to be a software engineer before I pivoted into product. So while I was a software engineer at Andela, I was privileged to work closely with the product team for about 3 months at some point. And while I was working with the product team, that was when I felt that I think I could function very well in this role, and I started to make my move to switch from software engineering to product. So I was taking courses, meeting people to mentor me here and there, and that's how my journey into product management started. So fun facts that you might want to know about me: I love good food, right? Just like I said in this slide, you can use food to get me. So if you just want to have your way into my heart, just bring food, very good food. And I'm a Yoruba boy. I love O and bells. And the last fun fact about me, I enjoy playing chess. Just before this event, I was actually playing a chess game. I had to resign so that I'll be able to give this talk. So that's just a quick overview about me. I have a website, sheonzone.com, contains links to my socials. So let's just dive right into it. Now, today's presentation is going to be in two parts. The first part, I'm going to be talking about how you should position yourself for global opportunities. Then secondly, I'm going to talk about the things you need to do when you begin to gain recognition, haven't positioned yourself for global opportunities. So right now, tips for positioning yourself for global opportunities, I'll just be dropping different nuggets. And after my presentation, I'm going to drop a link to the slide in case anybody needs to revisit these slides. So the first tip I have here is you should build an online brand and portfolio. Just before I get into the points I have here, there's a tweet Balaji's, I don't know if it's Balaji's, I'll call him, and put out on Twitter, I think sometime last week. And he said, many founders aren't hiring from Harvard, they are hiring from Twitter. This is very true. I keep meeting people on a daily basis that tell me that they get hired online because of the kind of web portfolio that they've built for themselves. Right, so it's important that you are building a very big brand for yourself online. There are many recruiters. I think there's a recruiter on Facebook that checked out my portfolio one time, and part of the things he was able to gather about me was because of the kind of brand I built online. You have no idea how these things could go a long way to help the kind of website you are building, and the kind of portfolio you're putting out there. So when I talk about building a portfolio online, what are the kind of things I'm talking about? So the first bullet point I have here is that if possible, you should probably create a website for yourself, right? So a website is that house that contains a repository of yourself and a repository of the kind of projects you have built. So you see a lot of software engineers do this, a lot of data engineers do this, a lot of people within tech do this, but I discovered that not so many people within product do this, right? This is going to go a long way to help you in terms of building your online brand and portfolio. Well, if you cannot build a website, or you cannot hire somebody to do it, the other things you could do really, you could create a personal Notion page for yourself. Now, that Notion page could contain links to your other social media platforms like LinkedIn, like Twitter, like Angel List. And this particular Notion page could also contain short description of the different projects you've worked on, right? It's possible that you are doing really amazing stuff, but nobody knows about it because there's no place they can go to read about you. That's why it's important. It's important that you do something like this. That's why I feel you should do something like this. So create some sort of public website, create some sort of public Notion or some sort of public page. There's certain tools here and there, Wix, a lot of tools you can use to build a personal brand for yourself. And next, I wrote that you should create a solid LinkedIn account, AngelList account, Twitter account, etc. I cannot stress this enough. So there's something that a lot of people do on Twitter I think is very dangerous. I know people throw bans on Twitter, but if you want to do this, I need you to be very, very, very careful of the kind of things you post online, right? I'm not saying you shouldn't throw bans on Twitter. I'm not saying you shouldn't farm your favorite celebrities on Twitter, but it's important that if you are building a public brand and portfolio for yourself, the kind of contents that you post on social media should be associated with the kind of perception you want people to have about you. So you don't want to build a solid brand for yourself in tech and all you do online is ban people. You are not pushing out useful content and whatnot. You don't want to be doing that. Also, when people visit your public profile, they should be able to see quality, right? When I visit your LinkedIn, I should be able to see that, man, this guy knows what he's doing. So for example, if you check out my LinkedIn page, you see I have links to the different projects I've worked on. You are going to see links to different certifications I've taken. You are going to see my achievements. Even if I've volunteered somewhere, it is there. I volunteered in places like Django Girls to teach girls how to learn Python and some other things. All those things, they are my LinkedIn profile. You have no idea what could open doors for you, really. So you want to make sure that your public repository really speaks about who you are. And I also talk about the fact that having a Medium account is a plus. So I'm going to give you an example. My current role, when I was doing my interview, they asked certain questions about Agile. So they really wanted to hire someone that understands Agile methodologies. Now, this is the truth. A lot of people talk about Agile, but not a lot of people understand Agile. Not a lot of people have worked in Agile environments. Even in our Nigerian tech space, a lot of us shout Agile, but we are not really doing Agile. We are probably doing a mixture of Agile and waterfall. We are not really following certain Agile practices. And I understand because a lot of our organizations are fast-paced. A lot of our founders are people that want things done yesterday, right? So they need somebody that had an understanding of Agile. So when I was explaining myself, then I went ahead to say something like, in fact, I've written an article about this before. Now, if you follow me very well on Twitter and on Medium, you remember that you recall that about 2 months ago, I wrote an article on Agile or fragile, right? Like, is your team Agile or is it fragile, right? So immediately I put the link of that article I posted the link while I was on the interview. Now, the senior product manager interviewing me checked out the link, then checked out my Medium. From there, they were already impressed. I also remember sometime last year when I was interviewing for AutoCheck and they gave me their assessment. When I was answering one of the assessment questions, there was a particular question that I had written a similar topic about. Immediately, I put a link to the article on Medium. From there, I discovered that the person that interviewed me, the CTO at the time, went to check out the article, followed me on Medium, and gave a clap to some of my other articles, right? You see, so that kind of positioning already allows you to get visibility, and it gives people the perception that you know what it is that you're doing. Then, like I said, the last point I have here is that you should always post relevant content, right? Make sure you're posting things around product management. Make sure you're posting things. If you learn something, don't just allow sitting there. Somehow drop nuggets here and there. Those posts could be Medium articles, it could be some short videos. Just make sure that you're putting stuff out there so that people know that you know what you're doing. So that's one way you can really get position yourself. So the next point I'm going to talk about, I just want to dwell a little bit about this, the fact that you need to push out helpful content. You need to be putting out content so that people see what it is they are doing. Now, software, you will discover that some 3-4 years ago, the Nigerian engineering ecosystem wasn't really so popular globally. But these are some things that engineers started doing that started making them get visibility. So people like Unicode developer Prosper Temuyiwa, Chris Nwamba, they were pushing out content, doing stuff. Then the global community started to pay attention to what they were doing. And from there, a lot of them started working for global communities and they just pushed other people out there. Now, this kind of mindset or this kind of activity is what those of us in the product management community needs to start replicating. As we begin to do that, it's going to take a while. I need to be honest with you. It might take 6 months, it might take 1 year, but as you do that consistently with time, right, you begin to get visibility. So I'm saying consider pushing out relevant content on places like LinkedIn, places like Twitter, places like Medium, YouTube. I discovered that I don't think I know any Nigerian product manager currently pushing out video contents on YouTube about product management, right? I don't think I know of any. I stand to be corrected, but I discovered a lot of people in the abroad, in the United States or in the UK. I discovered a lot of them push content not just on Medium, but they also push video content on their social media platform. So you might want to consider doing something like this. You might be the person that wants to start this in our ecosystem. So next up, in terms of positioning yourself, it is important that you join global product Slack communities. Like, if you're not doing this, I don't know what you're doing. In fact, if this is the only thing you are doing, it's almost more than enough to give you recognition. Now, the screenshot by the right, I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, product Slack communities I had open on the system at the time I was presenting this slide. And between that time and now, I joined about 2 or 3 extra product Slack channels. Now, I don't know, in fact, for some of the Slack channels, I don't know how I joined. I was just hungry for knowledge. I was just hungry for information. I think there was a particular one that I had to pay for to join. There were some that I had to fill certain form. They had to vet me to join. People are posting jobs every day. People are dropping helpful content every day. But because you are not in these communities, you might not know. Ignorance is very deadly. But if you're in communities like this, one of the things that they do for you is that they keep you informed. Now, I knew a lot of product managers that were willing, okay, a lot of entry-level product managers, one of the biggest challenges you have is that it's very difficult for you to get your first opportunity. And when you get your first opportunity and you do pretty well, it's just as though someone opens the floodgates of heaven. You just begin to get other roles, right? People don't want to hire you because they feel you don't have any prior experience. Now, how do you get prior experience? When I begin to check out some of these products, communities and Slack channels, I discovered that there were lots of programs for entry-level product managers. There were some products that are open source products. Okay, there are some products that are open source products where you can just go and contribute for free. I'm talking about global products, open source products. Global engineers are working on this. Just imagine the kind of exposure that could just give you. You are getting to meet more senior people. You are getting to build network already just doing that, right? There are certain information and people also pass around. Maybe there's a free course going out there or somebody is doing some sort of conference. I talk with a lot of people in our ecosystem and I realize that a lot of us don't even know global conferences going on. And that's because we are not in these communities. This month alone, I'm scheduled to attend like about two global conferences. Now, how do you build yourself and how do you get information if you are not within these communities, right? So one of the things that these communities do for you is that they begin to expose you. They give you information. They point you towards the right direction. And one other thing that they also do for you is that they help you network. Now, there's something I started doing. Anytime I write a Medium article, I know I post it on LinkedIn, I post it on Twitter. Another thing I started to do was that immediately I'm done writing my article, I start to post them on these product Slack channels. Usually, most product Slack channels, we have, let's say, a dedicated intro channel, a dedicated job posting channel, then a dedicated channel for posting useful content. Then I will post my content and I'll make people know that I wrote this. I'll just drop a short note, like in this article, I talked about this, and this, and I drop it. Sometimes, I think like the article I wrote about 2 months ago, Agile or Fragile, when I posted that article in a number of product Slack channels, people started to DM me. Product managers in Canada started to DM me. Product managers in the US started to DM me. It was as crazy as there was a particular week, just because of one of the articles I wrote, like 2 to 3 product managers in different parts of the world told me that they wanted to have calls with me. There was a product manager from Russia. We had a sync. There was a product manager, I think, from Canada. She wanted me to give ideas on how to better structure our team. Now, look at that. We jumped on a call. I gave her ideas from the kind of articles I've written. Don't think you are not smart enough. Trust me, you are smart. I've met our product managers. Trust me, we are good. We will do well on any product anywhere in the world. Because the kind of pressure that we are under in Nigeria and we are surviving, anywhere we go to, we do well. So I started to give an idea. Now, imagine that kind of opportunity that opened to me, right? If I need a pressing role, probably in an organization. She could refer me or something. She could point me towards the right direction or something. So that singular act within Slack channels, it's a very, very great way to open you up to global networks and global opportunities. So I'm going to really consider you to do that. There are lots of them out there. You could probably just Google. There's product manager or there's product manager HQ. There's Black product manager, that is for product managers that are Black. There's product coalition. There's product boards. There's product school. I just joined one again today that's supposed to be for product managers of color, right? So you get exposure to opportunities that way as well. I want to be sure I'm keeping this time up. All right. So next up, you need to build a solid resume. Like, you see some resume and I'm like, are you applying for local government chairman or civil servant? On your resume, you put your name, you put your local government, you put your, nobody cares about that, your date of birth, all this stuff. Nobody cares about that. Build a solid resume. There's a new way of writing resumes now, right? I could share my resume with you if you want to see how I build my resume. One of the things you want to make sure you're including in your resume, I don't have time to talk about how to build your resume. I could talk about this for 30 minutes. One of the things you want to make sure you are doing in your resume that you're talking about your wins. So let's say on my resume, I hold that 3 places. Let's say product manager at Andela, product manager at Google, product manager at Facebook. You want to make sure you're talking about your wins there. Don't just put it there. So at Andela, what did you do? So for me, there were certain wins I had while I was at Andela. At Andela, the article I wrote at Andela that till date, it has the highest number of reads on their Medium page. So I put that is a win. The team I worked with while I was at Andela was responsible for the highest upsell that Andela has till date. That was a big win. I put it there. When I was at Babangona, there was a product that I built. It was a financial product, and it was responsible for processing close to 75% of the revenue that the organization generates, right? You might think that, okay, this is my normal day job. Put that win. By the time you put that big percentage, at least you handled something that was responsible for 75% of their finances, they were like, no, for them to trust this guy with this kind of thing, he must really know what he's doing, right? A lot of people have big wins, but nobody know about them. You want to make sure you're putting things like that on your resume. You want to use data to support your claim. I built a product that did so and so percentage in the market. I built a product that did so and put numbers to back up your achievements. You want to make sure you follow resume best practices. Then next up, I said have different resumes to suit different skill sets. Now, this is what I mean. I've met people that are both product managers and they are also designers. They are skilled at both. Now, some of them use the same resume both for designer jobs and the same resume for product manager jobs. That is wrong. What you should do is that you should have a dedicated resume for product management. You should have a dedicated resume for design. So if you are also applying for roles like Scrum Master, product owner, you might want to have dedicated resumes for those. Then for me, though this is subjective, I believe your resume shouldn't be more than 1 page. I mean, recruiters are going through a lot of papers, right? I believe you should be able to capture the most useful details within a page to build a solid resume. Next up, make sure you're building your network. It's very important. It's what I said, your network determines your net worth. Yeah, so I sort of agree with him. Make sure you're building your network from Slack channels to LinkedIn to Twitter. You are building solid network. This is what network does for you. Network ensures that there's somebody speaking for you in the room. When you are among the top 3 finalists for a particular role, right? Who is speaking for you in the room? Your network, really. So you are building your network. You are not being rude to people. You are being nice. You know, you are just building. There are different ways you can build your network. I've already touched on some of them, but it's important that you are very, very intentional about growing your network. Then next up, you need to know where we see gigs, man. You really, really, really need to know where we see gigs. People are saying they are not jobs. It's a lie. They are jobs. Companies are posting jobs every day. Companies are looking for talents. You just need to know the right places to get a job. So one of the right places to get the jobs, and I'm sure a lot of us Slack channels know this, right? It's product Slack channels, man. I mean, people are posting jobs every day. So I'm currently in, I think I should be in about close to 12 product Slack channels, right? And when I was intentional about leaving Nigerian companies, on a daily basis, I would check every Slack channel. I was not looking for anything. I was not looking to read articles. I've read too many articles. I've read books. I'll just go to the job channel, and that was the only thing I was doing. Just looking for jobs, applying, applying. Got interviewed at some places, of course, got over 70% rejection, normal stuff, right? So you want to make sure you are doing something like that. Then there are certain websites, I couldn't read a lot of them, but there were some websites where there was a particular website that I know they used to send me notification of about 20 product manager jobs in Canada per day. Right, I was also doing that as well. Then aside, like we work remotely, one of my very close friends recently, they got it from we work remotely. Now, I need to quickly say this about using third-party websites for applications. When you see a job posting on a particular website, also go to the original website of the company. Right? You might see it on a place like LinkedIn. Don't just apply on LinkedIn. You also make sure you are going to the original website of that company, to their page and upload. Yes, I know it's a lot of work. You need to do this. Please, can you confirm that you are hearing me clearly? Someone said my voice is breaking.
It was breaking for a bit, but
Okay, sorry about that. Nigerian network, they won't get us. All right.
now.
All right, awesome. Thank you. So, place like Twitter and LinkedIn is also a place to get job and roles. So, for on Twitter, there are key topics I follow on Twitter. So, I follow topics like technology. I follow topics like career. So, even if you are not following these people and jobs, Twitter gets to notify you there on your timeline. Then places like LinkedIn is a great place. So the way you can get notifications on LinkedIn, so you can get notifications on LinkedIn to show you product jobs in Nigeria. So you can set the notification to happen daily. You can set it to happen weekly. You can set it to happen monthly. So what you just need to do, you just set that notification. If it's a daily basis, you want anybody to put a product manager job within Nigeria, but LinkedIn is going to send you notification for it. So I did for 3 countries at the time. I did for Nigeria and Russia, right? So depending on the kind of country you're trying to target, you can set that particular parameter. Then places like Upwork, Fiverr, and Freelancer, there are also places you might also want to check out. Indeed, it's a great place. Like I said, Recruitment is a great place, career.ca is a great place. But like if you use all these third-party websites, you also want to make sure that you're going directly to the website of the company to also apply, right? Then another thing you could do is having applied, you could throw your yeah. Next up, join talent. Now, there's a difference between product manager communities and talent network. I'm going to explain what and the difference between the two of them. Now, talent network is a pool of talent that's setting. Oh, damn. Into this country. Oh my God. Can you guys hear me now? Do you know on my video? On my video, that should be better. This should be better, right? Hello. Is my audio good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
your audio is good now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess some of my video for the rest part of the equation. Now, like I was saying, there's a difference between talent networks and product communities. Now, talent network are people that have a pool of talent. So when there are jobs, they just go to that talent network and see who has a matching skill and they match them to a job. Now, that is the kind of model that Andela is currently running by. So Andela have a lot of software developers that have applied for them. They did assessment for them. Now, if you scale through the assessment, they put you in a talent network. Now, if tomorrow, let's say GitHub comes and say we need a software engineer, instead of them to start running around to start looking for people to recruit and place on GitHub, they simply go to the talent network and look for someone that has a matching skill with the job that is available. So if you say we're looking for a Ruby developer, they just simply pick up someone that has a particular skill and match them to that job. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because Andela currently has a talent pool for software engineers. They will soon open talent pool for product managers. I'm monitoring them already. Yeah, they were recruiting people last month to set up the vetting process. So I'm pretty sure that before the end of the year, they're going to open that talent pool for product managers, because they are not just getting requests for software engineers, they're beginning to get requests for product managers. So this means telling everybody out there to be on the lookout. There's another one, Gebaya Talent Network. I think these guys are in they are in Ethiopia, if I'm not mistaken. Ethiopia. I know the CEO of Senegal. Ethiopia. Yeah, correct. But they have jobs from the US and everywhere. I participated as a senior PM in their talent network, and I'm currently in their talent pool. So if there's a need, they can just, and my skill set matches what is available, they could just easily pick from that particular talent pool. So I will advise you to join that kind of pool as well, do the assessment in the pool. There are other people too that do things similar, like product boards and the rest. I tell all of them, but I think it would be great to do research and see how you can join as many talent networks. Okay. So next up, I'm saying apply aggressively. That's why I had to make use of this emoji of this experts. You have to apply aggressively. Now, program managers in Google advises that new program managers should apply for at least 5 jobs every week, and that's about 20 jobs per month. Now, those in the United States are told to do at least 20 jobs per month. Then those in a state of emergency should be doing more than that. Sorry, I'm not saying Nigeria is in a state of emergency. You get my point, right? You should probably be doing more than that. Now, I'm going to just quickly tell a story. When Ella did some round of layoffs, one of my friends was affected. And for close to 2 months, this guy was applying, for 3 months about. So when he got a job that was paying him about close to almost $5,000. Then those that had jobs in Nigeria were lamenting, like, guy, how did you do this? So he told them something. He said the reason why you are not applying aggressively because you already have jobs. Now, when I asked for the number of jobs he was applying for, the guy told me he was applying for close to 50 jobs per month. Now, if you ask a lot of people that have foreign gigs, not just in product management, even those that are software engineers, a lot of people, if they tell you the number of applications that they had to put out, you'll be shocked. There was a guy that actually did I think he tried to track his progress. I think he did almost 100 applications at a point. He got more than 70 rejections. Like 10 or was it 15 told him he had advanced to the next round. And he only got to final round with just close to 2 or 3 companies. But at the end of the day, was able to get a job. In fact, the last opportunity, he had to ditch it. You just need one opportunity to get visibility. But the truth is that you might need to sweat it out before that particular one opportunity comes. So your application needs to be aggressive. I was talking to someone and she was telling me how that she's frustrated by applications. And I asked how many did you apply for? She told me 20, 30. I had to tell her the plain truth. I told her that I am yet ready. When you are ready, you'll be doing more than this, right? And it's not just about applying for these jobs. You also want to be making sure that you are doing a lot. It could be following LinkedIn with recruiters or with people within the organization, or some of us that are in Slack channels. When someone posts a job, you just go and apply. Try to DM the person on that Slack channel and ask about the role and tell the person about you. So you have to be aggressive about your approach. By aggressive, I'm not saying you should be offensive, right? You get it. So that said, I'm just going to tell you this for free, man. Make software developers your friends. They can call for you. A lot of our software engineers are getting roles. They are living in companies. In fact, there are a lot of us. Let me tell you the truth. Those of us working in Nigerian companies, your engineers are probably having side gigs with foreign companies, but they're not just telling you. The reason why they are working with your Nigerian company is so that they can save in naira. Then the dollar is just staying somewhere and collecting AC. That's probably what they are still doing on your team. Make sure that you are friends with them. They can really point you to openings. They can really point you to opportunities, right? Make sure you don't be the product manager that is just asking offer. Be the product manager that is empathic and building some sort of emotional connection with people. Because these kind of people are people that will refer you. There are certain side jobs that I have done. I'm not talking of my full-time job. It could be gigs like a 3-month gig or a 2-month gig. Sometimes it's an engineer that I worked with while I was at Andela that just referred me. My current role, it was an engineer that told me about the opening, and I went to go and apply. So you want to make sure that you are very close to these guys. Then write a killer cover letter. You see, when you're applying for a job and there's an opportunity for you to write a cover letter, please don't ignore it. I know it's very stressful, trust me, I do. If you skip the cover letter, that means you are doing what over 80% of applicants are doing. And that way, you are not standing out amongst the crowd. But your cover letter is a way to set you aside. Now, I know some cover letter, you might have to do Sakama and J sometimes and just, I'm not saying you should lie, but there are times you just have to amplify your skill sets or something. But your cover letter is a way of winning the recruiter or winning the company. I could talk for 30 minutes about cover letters, but just going to read this particular guy's article. Ebon, a job with Andela, and he talked about the kind of cover letter he wrote. My God, this was a killer cover letter. If you own a company and you read this cover letter, you hire the person straight. Just tell him no interview, just enter, right? So I'm going to drop a link to this slide so you can follow the link and read about the cover letter. This article covers anything I ever want to talk about cover letter for me. So just go and check it out after the presentation. Yeah, then do the unusual, of course, your cover letter. Like I talked about working on open source projects. So this is you working for free. I'm going to give an example of my younger sister. My younger sister got into product management this year. And the way we were able to sneak her into the company is by having her start by working for free. Told her she was going to be an intern without collecting money. I tried to convince the CEO and he agreed. Then when she was getting there, I already told her the kind of thing she needs to do. You need to show your value. She did that for about a month. After a month, they just gave her a role like, you know what, take the job. Some people, it might take 3 months. I know a lot of software engineers do this. That's why I suggested that idea to her. Some software engineers will just poach people on LinkedIn and say, okay, I need to work at your company, but do you know what? I'm willing to do this for free. Then when they get in there, they begin to show their value, and sometimes they just choose to retain them. I strongly believe that can be replicated in product management as well. Do the unusual. There's one thing that people do is they analyze a particular product. I think somebody did it for Shopify last year. Analyzed Shopify and said, okay, if I was a product manager at Shopify, these are the kind of things I would do, right? Wrote a Medium article about it, and immediately she was hired to come and implement the thing that she wrote about in the Medium article. So it's an unusual way of poaching a company. Then shoot your shots. I've already talked about this extensively on Slack, on LinkedIn, thereabouts. So that's about doing the unusual. Now, having gained visibility, there are certain you can gain visibility. A company is willing to bring you up to the interview stage, but some people now miss out, right? So what do you do having gained visibility? The next thing you want to do is that you want to make sure that you are maximizing your opportunity. So I have tips on how you need to maximize your opportunity. First off, prepare for the PM interview. A lot of peers I've talked with, they don't know how to prepare for the PM interview. There are popular questions in product management interview. They will ask you things like, name a popular product I use every day. You just name a product. I use Facebook. If you're a product manager at Facebook, what kind of feature are you going to build? What improvement are you going to make? Product manager, they just freeze at that point. Now, but if you have prepared for the product manager interview, those are the kind of things that you can easily kill. I know that Princess and this community, they do a lot of PM interview preparations. It's a great way to begin to set yourself up for success in the PM interview. So other things you can do to prepare yourself for the PM interview, watch videos. There are a lot of mock interviews on YouTube. But if just watch, like, by the time you watch 2 or 3 mock interview videos on YouTube, you realize how unready you are for a product manager interview. Take their courses on PM interviews, right, or mock interview. Go to Udemy, there are a lot of them. There are great books you can read about the PM interview. There are TED conferences. There are also Slack channels too that do PM interview. You can practice PM interviews with your friends, then prepare for questions like this one I just talked about. Now, also when you go for an interview, you also want to make sure that you are going prepared with questions for the interviewer about the company and about the role. So these are just quick tips, but by the time you prepare for your PM interview, all these tips will be extensively covered. Then research about the company, check the Glassdoor reviews, check what employees are saying about LinkedIn. I'm going to give this popular story about myself. I applied for this particular global company. They have employees in close to 40 countries of the world. So I applied. So I knew that they will be open to hiring a Black product manager. Then when I was filling the form in the expected salary section, when they asked for expected salary, I put $50,000 per annum. I got invited to the interview. While I was talking with the recruiter was very impressed with all the answers I was giving. The recruiter was from Russia. Like I said, they had employees in over 40 countries. Then when we got to the salary range, she said she knows that I put $50,000. She said, am I sure I calculated my tax and my health insurance and everything for my country? It was there I knew I messed up. Though I said no, but I greatly shortchanged myself, and it felt as though I shortchanged myself, really. It's not as if I didn't have the skill set, but because of the salary expectation I put, it seemed as though this guy doesn't have the relevant experience for the role. Now, after that interview, I went to go and check Glassdoor for the salaries of product manager of that company. And it turned out that they paid their product managers $130,000. Now, that was more than ×2 of what I bidded for. And the truth is that the same skill set. Now, the reason that was a very big blunder on my part. The reason I made that blunder was because I did not research about the company. I didn't know what the company was capable of delivering to the employees. So you want to make sure that you're arming yourself. Know about a company before you step into interview with them. Know their core values, know their culture. Know that really arm you, especially when it comes to negotiations, especially when it comes to showing the kind of value you can bring to their team, especially negotiations, right? I can't stress that enough. That opportunity that I missed till today still pains me, but I know bigger things are coming in the future. Then keep polishing your skills, keep polishing your written skills, your oral skills, your skills around agile development, keep taking courses, keep reading articles. You don't know how much these things might help you in the future, right? It's when opportunities begin to show up, you realize that everything you're doing to build yourself is setting you up for success. Then have an elevator pitch. What is an elevator pitch? Let's say you get into an elevator with somebody like Bill Gates, and you guys are going from the first floor to the fifth floor. You have about 30 minutes, 30 seconds to 90 seconds to pitch yourself. What are you going to say? Now, people use elevator pitch for startups, where you should be able to talk about your startup within from the first floor to the fifth floor and give the other party enough room to be interested in your startup. But I also strongly believe that this applies to product managers. You should have an elevator pitch that is unique to you. So for me, I have an elevator pitch, and if you check my LinkedIn, you see my elevator pitch is always on my LinkedIn. I talk about the fact that I'm an ex-software engineer. I've worked in design, I've worked in engineering, and with my unique skill sets, I'm able to quickly interact across various stakeholders and bring all the moving pieces of a business together in one place. Sharp. You get, and from my elevator pitch, when you begin to ask me questions about engineering, about design, we can now begin to have an extensive conversation from there. So your elevator pitch is something that you can say within 30 seconds that will make someone interested in you. Now, everybody's elevator pitch has to be unique, so you have to have your own elevator pitch for yourself. Next up, communicate the value you can offer to the team. Don't leave an interview without communicating the value you can give them. Right? If just make sure you, in one way or the other, you are communicating a value that makes you different from other people that are applying for the role. Be it the way you are able to analyze business, be it the way you've been able, it could be a formal win, right? But make sure you communicate your win to whoever is willing to give you an opportunity. Then I think that's about it. Thanks everybody for listening to my presentation. I'll be dropping links to this presentation on the chat. Thank you, everybody. All right, it's over to you.
Oh, sorry, my mic was muted. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much, Shem, for that presentation. Like, I was taking notes because I want to earn in USD too. Anyways, if you have questions, you can just raise your hand and okay, Simi has a question. So Simi, you go first.
All right. Hi, Sheon. Right. Hi, Sheon. Good evening, everyone. My name is Simi. I work presently a product manager working in the fintech space, and it's my first product role, first experience in fintech, and I'm not even up to 6 months old. And I think I have actually joined all the product communities, both Nigerian and non-Nigerian, because I think, okay, to be very honest, I really just wanted to japa, like leave the traditional setting, and I'd had a little bit taste about the tech space at the time, so I was like, oh more. I need to go back there because it felt like a drug, to be honest. Like I was really addicted at that time in 2016. So that was why I left, and that was why I decided to go into product management. But to be honest with you, I'm really struggling that balance, like juggling between expectations. Can you hear me? I just want to be sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right, good. Yeah, so like my first question is how do I manage time? Now, the reason, let me give a background story to this. I'm working with a fintech company and I'm presently working on three different projects. Projects in the sense that one is a Slack community for product managers, another is a project, a mentorship project for junior level developers who want to transition into mid-level and possibly work with international companies. That's like my second project. And my third project is building a very simplified account managing solution for businesses that are actually on the roadside. So I'm not going to go and look for one big company that is selling it as a wholesaler. So that kind of thing. So managing that time is my issue. I know what I'm supposed to do. Even before you started talking, I already knew that okay, these are these were the necessary things I have to do if I want to work, like earn in dollars, because that's what I did to get this job. Do you get? So my struggle is managing time. My struggle is I really feel like I need to fast track because there's really no time, to be
Yeah,
honest. I can't start pitying myself. I've already
I agree
started
with you.
ringing in my line managers here that Oga, this 6 months probation people are giving me, I don't have time. We need to revisit it. Come and increase my salary, like, to be honest. But I think my issue is time management and also fast tracking my product career. Those are like my two major. So I don't know. Do you have any
Yeah,
tips on
absolutely.
this?
Yeah, I have tips, plenty. Now, let me give you a background story about myself. I started my MBA, what was that? Late 2019. So I should be done in a few months. So at the point I was doing my MBA. For the MBA, I had weekly assignments. We don't write exams for MBA. So the way you are being graded is that you are graded based on the academic paper that we submit every week. And there are weeks that I will need to write like 2 to 3 academic papers. Before this call, I wrote like 2 papers today. Now I had that going on. And there was also a time in my life, this is just me being honest, there's a time in my life that I seriously needed finance to do a lot of things. I was paying school fees. I had a lot of things I needed to do. And one Nigerian job wasn't going to be enough to cater for all those needs. So while I was on my main job, I still had a side job and I was doing these 3 together. And I was also contributing to a global products management Slack channel, PM Hub. For those of you that see some of my articles, most of my articles are on PM Hub. I'm part of the contributors of PM Hub. So this was going on. Then there were other things I was doing, like mentoring people, reading personal books, and doing some other things, right? So it became a whole lot. There was a time I broke down. Then when I came out of that period of almost killing myself, I had to prioritize. Now, as a product manager, one of the skills that you must have is your ability to prioritize. Now, at that point, I had to drop the things that were not showstoppers for me. So some of the things I had to drop included doing things like side jobs. One of the things I had to drop was the rate at which I was contributing to certain communities because I wasn't getting immediate value from them, right? There were other things I had to drop. I prioritized what needed to be done. So if I were in your shoes, I will have to prioritize my daily activities. What do I need to achieve within the next 3 months? What do I need to achieve within the next 6 months? So that is going to go a long way in defining what takes up the major bulk of my time. So I want to start working for a global company. Contributing to, I'm not saying you shouldn't be part of communities. Please don't get it mixed up. But if that is impacting the ability for you to be able to set up yourself for what you are doing, you might need to slow down it. So, for example, PM Hub this year, I had to speak to the president of PM Hub that, do you know what, I won't be able to contribute for, I think I gave them till 2 months from now, really. And I told him that the reason is because I need to work with a global company. But that if he can link me up to a global company, I'll be contributing, no problem. So I had to prioritize, right? So that I'm doing my normal day job, I'm doing my MBA. Then the other time I had, I wasn't using it on social media. I wasn't using it on mentorship sessions. I wasn't doing other things, but I was using that time to either do applications or follow up. So in your case, you would have to prioritize. And I'll be honest with you, it's going to take time, right? The visibility you're looking for is going to take time. It might not happen in 3 months, it might not happen in 6 months, but you have to be doing it consistently over a long period of time. Some people, it might take them close to 1 year to be able to break through. So you keep at it, you prioritize and keep at it. I hope that sort of answers your question.
Yeah, it does. It perfectly does. Did I speak that English correct? Yes, it does. So I
All
know
right,
what I'm
thank you.
supposed to do. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Oh,
All
okay.
right, thanks.
Somto is next, and after Somto, I'm going to read out Rachel's question in the chat. Then Bridget, Augustine, Jadisola, and Matthew. So Somto, you ask.
Yeah, thanks. Hi, Sean. Okay, I'm some performance, a product designer. So, yeah, this is just a simple question. Yeah, I once knew you as an Andela developer, software developer. Yeah, I was like, I've been following you. It's not like tickets. So,
Yeah.
when do you like kind of decide? Okay, you've decided that you want to follow this route. So, how do you kind of pattern your way to product manager role, kind of from your background as a software engineer? How do you like navigate to like just
Yeah.
like basic steps that you took to navigate to enter that product manager role, kind of? So that's actually my question.
Absolutely. Now, this is a very brilliant question because there are people that are designers, there are people that are engineers, there are people that are in customer support or different roles within technology companies that want to break into product management. So it's important that they know how to do that. So for me, the decision started when I worked close. So there's a time we didn't have a lot of product managers in Andela. So they threw a white card to the engineers that who wants to join, and the product manager join the product managers for 3 months to work with them for 3 months, and they will go to the engineering. So a couple of us applied. I think close to 5 engineers applied. So we became product coordinators. So I did that for about 3 months, and I really liked it because it allowed me to touch different things. If you know me very well, I've done a lot of things in this life. I've done digital marketing, I've done ethical hacking, I've done design, I've done engineering. So I felt like that role was going to put me at the center of everything because I knew a little bit about everything. So that was what I made up my mind. Now, one of the first things you want to do is that if you are within a company, that is the easiest way for you to transition. Within your company, you are speaking to people, you are speaking to your HR that you want to transition. Now, before you begin to have that conversation with them, begin to take courses and other things to build your skill set. So courses like Product Dive, Utiva, or Udacity, something, so that you can tell them that you are serious about making this transition. Now, you need to think through it carefully. I had to sit down and count the course that this will mean I'm leaving engineering, and I have to face this head on because product management requires, it's a full-time job. So having done that, I was making those moves. A lot of people don't know this. The primary reason why I left Andela was because having worked as a product coordinator, I wanted a full-time PM role. Usually Andela does that. There's a particular product manager that did that in Andela. I don't know if some of you know Lade. Lade is currently in the UK and works as a product manager with a company in the UK. He was a software engineer while at Andela. He transitioned into product management. Right now, that's what he's doing full time. In fact, he was one of the people that mentored me. Mentored me for about 6 months, every 3 weeks, having calls. Now, trying to transition within your company is like the easiest way. The primary reason why I left Andela was because at the time they were not going to do that, and there was an opportunity somewhere else to work as a full-time product manager. I didn't care about the money. I just went for it. So do that within your company. There are tons of articles as well that talks about how you can transition from design or from engineering to product management. I also advise you to check those out as well. Things like contributing to open source communities as a product manager, even if you're a designer, all those kind of things begins to set you up for success and allows you to have a seamless sort of transition. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Oh, okay. So I'm just going to read Rachel's question from the chat. When you spoke about joining a talent pool, please share helpful tips on joining and maximizing this space. how do we join the Andela Talent channel also? So she's asking about the talent channel that you mentioned when you were presenting your slide. You're mute,
Right.
Sean.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to control something. All right, thank you. So just to be clear, the current Andela talent pool as of today is only open to those in engineering and quality assurance. I don't think it's open to those in design and product management just yet. But I know that possibly for the end of the year, they're going to open that up. So all of us will have to be on the lookout for that and try to figure out how to join for those of us that need to join. Then Gebaya Talent Pool, just simply go to their website and kickstart the application process. Having applied, I think they might give you some PM assessment, invite you for some interviews. If you pass and if you scale through, you join the talent pool. I think it's about 1/3 of people that apply also that even make it to their final interview stage. Then I can't stress this enough. Join Slack channels. Trust me, from Slack channels, informations fly around, right? There are some people that I just begin to send them link. They wonder where I get those links from. It's from those Slack channels. I talked about it earlier today. Don't just join. Be checking the channels every day. Check resource channel. Check career channel. There are different career opportunities that pop up. I think if you do this alone, it's enough to set you up for success regarding joining certain network. That should do it. And like I said, this particular one too, it's not something that's going to happen overnight. You have to be consistent with it over a period of time. Yeah.
Okay, Bridget, you go next.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you again, Shimon, for today's session. Concerning what you said about applying aggressively, because I, for myself, I actually totally agree with that. Initially, I was applying to companies in Nigeria, but something just said, let me start trying companies outside, just positioning yourself globally. Started applying aggressively to companies in the UK, and I think luck shined on me. One of the company got back to me in the UK, sent some initial questions which I answered. They got back to me again for first stage of the interview. I've done that, but there was something you made mention of, that you were interviewing with a company. I can't remember if it was Russia or Canada. That the salary expectation that you mentioned was like half of what they are paying for that role. So the thing is, I did my research for the company I'm interviewing at, and I actually kind of mistook the salary range that they are paying. So I checked Glassdoor, and I saw a salary range. It was actually for the junior PM that I saw. So that was what I called. It's actually big money when it comes to Nigeria. Like, I'm talking about 25,000 pounds. So the money was like turned my head. But later I found out that it was not actually the role I applied for. That's the role that mother paying for. I applied for the PM role, and they are paying more, like double that. So I've not gotten to the part that will ask me about that. I don't want that to spoil my chances, or to say, okay, I should change myself because I mentioned like half of what they are paying their PM staff. I don't really know how we'll handle that if that comes, because I'm still waiting for like the second stage of the interview.
All right, very good question. Like I said, this, in fact, I pray for you that you will scale through this interview and get the job. Some companies are reasonable enough and they understand that. In fact, there are some companies that even if you ask for $30,000 and what they are giving for the role is $60,000, they'll forgive your negligence and still offer it to you, or just probably offer you the job with what you've asked for, even if you would have had more. Right? So, like you rightly said, what you want to make sure to do is to check Glassdoor to be very sure. Then check them. The other thing you can do is to check them out on LinkedIn. I don't know, when you check them out on LinkedIn, do they have any current employee that is from Nigeria?
No, I didn't see any.
Okay, now that's where it becomes pretty difficult, because you can easily initiate a conversation about culture and salary expectations from someone who is in Nigeria. right? But if the person you are approaching people on LinkedIn and the person you are interacting with is not from Nigeria, the only kind of question you can ask about is about the culture, about what the role is about the company and the rest. But you might not want to ask things like salary, just so that you don't overstep your bounds. So that said, just be more careful next time when you're checking Glassdoor for future opportunities. And when you check out the company on LinkedIn, try to see if there's a Nigerian or not an African. There's a way you have a conversation with them, and over the introductory conversation, you might be able to ask that kind of question, and they're going to give you better insights. I think just doing that, you are going to be fine. And congratulations to you, and I wish you good luck. You're on the right path, and this is a message to everybody. Let them know that it is possible.
Yeah, thank you,
All right.
Sean.
All right, Austin, you're next.
Thank you so much, Chum, for this very wonderful session. So I'm currently an optometrist. Basically, an optometrist is someone that is medical field that solves eye problems. Like how do I put it now? A medical doctor, but more into the into solving eye problems for people. So, but I'm very much interested in health tech, and that's where I see myself in 5 years' time, being a product manager in health tech and developing products that would help to solve visual impairment for people. But coming from a non-traditional design, or I don't have any experience in design or um, engineering, customer success, or whatever, how would you say, how would you advise I define my path towards product management? Recently, I got admitted to a program, Bioentrepreneurship in Sweden, but I'm considering if I don't know if an MBA would be better, or going to just deviating to tech or something would be better. So I don't know if you could like help me develop my perspective more.
Okay, so just a quick question. This program you're talking about, how long is it supposed to last for?
Okay, it's a 2-year program.
Is it equivalent to, like, let's say, having a university degree and something you can put on the education part of your LinkedIn?
Yeah, it's the courses are like really they are very almost similar to the courses that we have in an MBA. So
Okay.
but I don't know if I read somewhere that most times when they recruit for product managers, they always want like that MBA thing. They are more focused on that. So that's why I'm reconsidering.
All right. So this is what I'm going to advise sincerely. You could either opt for that or you can opt for an MBA, right? But more important than doing an MBA and doing that is probably enrolling for some sort of hands-on product management training. Now, this is what it does to you. It's just like those in computer science and those that are actual programmers right now. Those in computer science, they have the theoretical knowledge of what engineering should be. But by the time we give them laptop, write JavaScript, let us build an application that does this, they only have the theory and knowledge. But the person that can actually deliver is someone that has hands-on knowledge, even if he doesn't have a university degree. So the same thing is almost true. Now, I said almost true because the truth is MBA and the rest, some of all these other courses, there are certain things you learn that are really, really valuable to a business. Right? It's almost true, but so it's important that you have some sort of hands-on experience. So some hands-on experience, they are telling you that this is what you are going to do if you're in product management, right? Another thing that all those kind of training does for you is that they introduce you to a network of connecting to other people within your field, and a network of connecting you to opportunities. So let me give an example of you now. So let's say with your current background, you go to product dive, you do product dive training, and you you get into the this is a secret. There's a dedicated Slack channel for those that have done product that where they post jobs to only them. I didn't tell you guys. So let's say you do that and you are added to that particular channel, and Ilium Health, for example, comes and says, we are looking for an associate product manager to join our team, right? And they post it there. You can easily tell the organizer of product that hey, I have a background in this. Kindly put in a word for me. And I know people like Tobi Otoki, they'll gladly do that for you. Now, just joining that particular network and doing their program alone has already exposed you to an opportunity that you might not likely have if you just go to the university and are waiting for the next 2 years. I strongly believe that 2 years is a long time. A lot can happen within 2 years. Before I joined Andela, I was supposed to go back to school. But a friend of mine told me that you don't need school. Just learn script and apply. And I thank God today, every day, that I made that decision. Imagine if I went back to school and I wasted another 2 or 3 years, right? Some of the grounds that I've been able to cover, I would not have covered them. So even if you are doing your MBA or you are doing your current program, which is fine, and I advise you to continue to do, but I will tell you to also prioritize a program that allows you to get in hands-on as quickly as possible. It's fast-paced. You have to move fast. People are leveling up every day. The competition is increasing. So why waste time?
Thank you very much for that. Product dive or this Udacity product manager nano degree, which one would you like from the different programs, right, in product management? How would you rank them based on your experience?
This is a recorded call. You can send me a DM on Twitter and we'll talk about it.
Okay, great, awesome. I'll do that.
All right, Jadisola.
Hi everyone. Sean, thank you so much. I learned a lot. Now this is have a lot to talk about. Okay, first off, I feel like for every person that I've seen that is into product management, I feel like there's always a background in tech somewhere. Like probably they were designers, they were engineers at some point, and they just wanted to do something else. Now, for someone like me, okay, I'm an aspirant to the bar. I just finished my law school. I mean, the past 6, 7 years of my life, I've been dedicated to studying law and not something outside. Okay, now the issue is I am barely seeing anyone who has had no like at all like zero like experience in tech like me, because I have zero experience in tech, and this is like a new fit for me. Like I'm like, oh, I think I want to do product management after some research. I want to get into tech. I think product management would be good and everything. And then I took my first course on Udemy, completed it, and I'm like, okay, this is really interesting. I would like to do this. So my challenge now is okay, how do I actually put these things that I've learned, how do I actually practicalize them? Like, how do I find my fit, knowing that I have zero knowledge in the tech space, and this is like my first contact, my first experience. How do I build portfolios? How do I get into talking about my thoughts about products? How do I how do I really get into that space? And how do I land my first PM role? Like, how do I get myself put myself out there before landing any major job, so to say, knowing that I have zero space in the tech. So that's my question. Antu, please, would like your social media handles. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. I think we lost.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, we can hear you now.
All right.
Oh.
Hello. I think I'm breaking up. I'm not
I
sure.
think we lost that again. In my network.
Okay.
I can hear her clearly though. So Sharon, I think it's your network. But I believe she has said what her question is. So you can just go ahead and answer. Shane. Sean, are you here with us?
Yes, I think I lost you guys for a bit. I'm so sorry.
Okay, should she just give like a recap, or you got the question?
I think I got the first question, but I didn't get the second question.
Oh,
Jadis, did you have a second question?
okay. Okay. So no, it's just basically him dropping his social media handles.
Okay, all right. I'll do that. So from my website, you can actually follow a link to my social media, and that's my website on the chat. So to answer your question, let me start by saying a lot of people on this call have a similar experience with you. Princess, I believe, studied law, and she's now a product
Sorry,
manager.
civil engineering.
What did you study again?
Civil engineering.
Yeah. Okay. That is civil engineering, right? So she switched from engineering to civil engineering to product. My younger sister is on this call. She studied law. I remember she was doing her law school. She was coming to visit me then in Lagos. She was working at a law firm up until November, December last year before she quitted. She resigned and she took one of these are popular PM trainings. Joyce, on the call, which one did you take again?
Utiva.
Okay, Utiva. Okay, awesome. So she took Utiva. Then when she did Utiva, now this is where mentorship is very important. So I told her to start doing certain things. I told her to start writing articles. She was doing that. Then she started out as an intern. Then from there, they recruited her into a full-time role. I think I talked about it earlier in this call. And right now, she's growing through the ranks. So there are different ways you can enter, really. You can either enter as an intern, you can enter as an associate product manager. But like I always tell people, I will always advise you to get some sort of formal training. And right now, our ecosystem is so good that we have some really, really good trainings to take advantage of, like Product Dive, like Utiva. I think Threadford is there. I know Tosin, she's also on this call. I know she did Threadford. I know we were having lots of chats then. Right now, she's a full blast product manager with a company. Rachel is on the call. She did Product Dive last year. Now she's a product manager with BitNob, right? So you can, and some of these people don't have tech background really, so you can actually switch. Just get some sort of training and find a way to enter in either as an intern or as an associate, and just start going from there.
All right. Thank you so much. That was really helpful.
Then, Princess, you might want to say one or two things about this too as well.
Oh, thank you. Jadisola, I think just to add to what he said, as part of his slide, he talked about networking. So I think you should get to know more tech people, because right now the people around you are just like law students, lawyers, and all that. So I think you should get to know people, be active on communities, get to know people on calls like this, follow people on social media, just increase your tech network. You would have more people you can run to when you have problems. You'll have more people who support you when you share your achievements. You just basically increase your tech network. So I think that's something that you should heavily weigh on. Try and get to know people, make friends with tech people, because you're coming from a very different background, and you wouldn't want to feel lonely when you are now in this new space. So you know me, I know you. You need to know like more people in the tech space as well. And then of course all the nice things that Sheon said in his slide about social media activeness and all that.
All right. Thank
so,
you. That was so helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, Matthew. Hi, Matthew. You raised your hand. You wanted to ask a question. Are you still
Yeah,
here?
thank
Oh,
you,
okay.
Simisola. Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
My name is Princess, not Simisola.
Oh, sorry, Princess. Sorry about that. Okay, Sheil, thank you once again for this. It was very insightful. Okay, I just have two questions. Yeah, I've been in the product space as a product owner manager for
a bit over 2 years now, and I still feel like there's a lot I still do not know. Okay, so let me just run through the question straight up. So do you think your background as a software engineer has any impact on your career as a product manager, if at all it did? And the second one would be, to what extent do you think hard skills impact a manager's career progression?
Okay, that's the first. Do you want to talk about this? Okay, are those the two questions?
Yes.
Okay, all right, cool. So if I'm going to be honest with you, my background as a software engineer gave me some sort of push. Because like I said, when I was talking about elevator pitch, I will even lie to you. It's one of the things I talk about. I'm an ex-software engineer, so I know this stuff. People cannot deceive me. At the same time, it has also blocked certain doors. So there was a particular person that recommended me for a program manager role at Facebook. And the only reason that recruiter did not continue with my process was because he felt I had a technical background. So they are actually people that legit want PMs without technical background, because they felt that those with technical background might become so technical. And that is very true. And to be honest, that was one of the things I had to unlearn when I was moving into product management. So, but one thing I would tell you is this: even if it could give you some sort of head starts having hard skills, you shouldn't focus on it, right? They are good product managers that don't have engineering background and are killing it even within our ecosystem. So if you check people like Toby Otokiti even has some networking background, but not necessarily software engineering. I'm not very sure. Toby Otokiti, Olamide, there are a number of people I can keep mentioning that don't have engineering background, and they are some of the best product managers that we have within our ecosystem. So in as much as hard skills could help you engage in more productive conversations with people, they are not necessarily requirements, to be honest. It's now in the case of when people want specifically a technical product manager that it becomes a must-have to have hard skills, because at that point you will be having to make some more technical decision. But if the role is not specifically a technical product manager, I don't think you need to focus on hard skills too much. We have 10 minutes, so that's why I had to rush the answer.
Oh, okay. But are you satisfied with your answer, Matthew?
Yeah, that was quite helpful. Thank you.
Okay, so Kochi posted a question on the chat. He said, please, I think, what if a person who wish to start a career path in PM guideline to start? Okay, he's trying to say if someone wants to start a career path in product management, what's the guideline to start?
The articles you can read, we might probably not be able to exhaust that here, but we've talked about some of them. Get some sort of formal training, apply for internship, shoot your shots. Somehow, some of the things we've said are guidelines. There are lots of articles out there, but just get into one of our communities, Product Dive, Utiva, Threadford, all these guys that will get you started. Just join one of them. That's like the quickest advice I can give you right now.
Okay, Tochi, does that answer your question? Hi, Tochi. Oh well, he's mute. Jerome, you can go ahead and ask. That's the last question for tonight.
Hi, Sean. Thanks so much for the deep insights shared. Yeah, quick one. What's the difference between a technical PM and a regular PM?
All right. So you can read up about it. There are different type of product manager roles. There are people that they call growth product managers. So I guess that's what Kitty does now. So their role, they're not necessarily operational product managers like manage stories. They are more involved in taking strategies that that amplifies the product. So a normal PM might think about it this way. A normal PM gets the book to the shelf, right? A growth product manager takes the book to the shelf and makes sure that the customer buys it. So that's a type of role. Then there are technical PMs. A technical PM might be more involved in some sort of engineering decisions. And there are different reasons why people might want a technical PM. So let's say you're working with a startup, and the startup does not, and the founder, let's say the founder of the startup does not have any technical background. The founder of the startup has never worked in tech before. Sometimes in that particular case, they will either want to hire a CTO or a technical product manager to head the engineering team, because they need to make some very valuable architectural decision that might affect the product. So it's important that whoever is managing the product is sort of technical, or if they need to go to a particular room to talk to investors or talk to third-party partners, it's important to have somebody technical in the room, right? So a technical product manager might fill in the role. But the truth is, within our ecosystem, the need for technical PMs, it's not so much. Then a normal PM is just someone that is just at the middle of everything. There are articles out there that you can read about it that talks about the different type of product manager. There are about 5 of them: growth, technical, data product managers, and the rest. I might not be able to exhaust them in this call, but I'll just quickly Google and see if I can drop a link for you to just read extensively about it. Okay. I'll drop a link for you shortly.
Okay, while he's doing that, thank you very much, everyone, for joining today. I learned a lot, and I hope everyone also learned something. So, Sharon already posted the link to the slide in this chat. But okay, yeah, I think that'll do, because if he now, I don't know how, Sharon, do you want it posted like out there, maybe on Twitter or something, or this is just fine?
No, sure, you can do whatever you will with it. You can make copies of it.
Oh, okay, thanks. This session was recorded as well, so the recording will be available in case you want to go right again, or you want to share with someone. And the last one, so if you learned anything and you are active on social media, maybe Twitter or something, you can just share like snippets of stuff that you learned today, tag the community, people in product community. You can tag Sheon as well, because I mean, the knowledge came from him. So yeah, thank you very much. I think we are right on time, just 3 minutes more. So Sheon, have you posted the stuff you wanted to post? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. If you have further questions, his Twitter is there. If he's accepting questions, I mean, this night, I think he would accept questions. So just reach out to him on Twitter, reach out to him on LinkedIn. Sean, please drop your LinkedIn profile link here too. I saw someone asking for it earlier on. So you can drop your LinkedIn, drop your Twitter here for them to if you have further questions. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Again, God bless you. Let me just plug in the community here. If you're yet to join people in product community, please join us. It's a safe space for product managers. As we're learning and we're growing, we're also trying to support each other. We try to blow off steam every week. We have check-in calls every Saturday. We have interview prep on Tuesdays. On Mondays, we have general discussions. But the month of May, we have other things planned. So if you join the community, you would find out what's up. So thank you guys once again for joining. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. God bless you. I think we are done with the event right on time. Thank you. Yeah, I'll share the Slack channel link. Let me just. So this link I shared is linked to our publication and also the Slack community. So you can read all the discussions we've had Q1 and in April. You can also join the community using this Linktree link that I just posted here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Peace.
Princess, is that check-in tonight?
Oh no, and I
No.
forgot to cancel the
Oh my
event.
God.
So people were
Oh my
still
God. Princess, please, when are we doing check-in? I want to rant. My emotional and mental stability or health is
you
on
can
a
just say
low.
on a rant. I'm here.
Somewhere,
So
somewhere. Do not let us disgrace our family tree. Yeah, thank you. Princess, please, when are we doing check-in, please?
there was no checking call this week because we were having how to earn USD and
How to
pound,
earn dollars, Abby?
Australian dollars, Canadian dollars. That's why.
Somewhere, shut up your
Somewhere I'm
mouth.
not
You
in the
can
course.
even leave
Everybody
me.
is. I'm courtesy
Please,
demands that I
Princess,
see.
let's talk. Let's just talk it. Everybody's here. Bridget has gist. Me, I have gist.
Oh,
Princess
that's why.
has
Okay.
gist.
But it will be
Let's
unfair. It will be unfair to people who maybe joined the checking call. I didn't see anybody there. It will be unfair to them. So if you want, anyways, you can just talk. Okay, checking call. Simi, how was your week? How are you? And
Chineke, now me you want trouble too.
yes,
Bridget, come here. Bridget, unmute your mic. Drop your
Lead
gist. Be
us,
the
lead
first
us.
person to
No,
drop.
no, no, lead us first.
I should
he
lead you in
started
prayer.
and put should
I should lead you in prayer.
Hi,
Oh yeah,
Samuel. How
everybody,
are you
bow your
doing?
head, bow your head, bow your head, bow your
Good
head.
evening,
Let's pray.
Bridget.
We are praying,
Samuel,
Samuel.
please. Samuel, please do not bring
Which
your
prayer?
problem.
Which prayer? I beg.
when did you
Ah,
I beg. Which what's prayer? I beg. Bridget, what's up now? How you doing now?
I'm fine. How you doing?
mm,
I'm fine. Princess, when I told you I would hear Bridget's voice today, do you think I was messing with you?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I
Okay, I don't hear. No shit now.
wait,
Me,
what
I have to leave the call because I can't do any check-in tonight anyways. But I'll talk to Bridget
why?
when,
we
when
can just
she's done.
continue now and just make this like a mini check-in call. But we're not going to tell people on Slack that we had check-in call because they're going to feel bad.
Hi, Edward.
Hi Edward, what's up?
Hi, Emmanuel.
Is Edward still on the call?
I don't even know. But there are still some new people around. Like they should introduce themselves. I can
You
even
guys
see
better behave
Daniel
yourselves
Hi
Fidelis
guys,
before
Simi.
these new people think. Edward,
Uh,
as
what's up now?
new.
I'm fine,
Daniel
Emmanuel.
Fidelis, good evening. Oh. Okay, I think I just want to go
See,
first actually. Let me
We've
just go
wasted
first.
4 minutes just gisting between summer and Simi.
Okay,
If
okay,
you
okay, okay.
are not
Sorry,
ready,
princess.
the new people
Hi,
going
Sam.
if you're going to
Princess, don't
say
take
normally
it
we have checking
personal.
calls every Saturday by 8 p.m. But we couldn't have checking calls this week because Shane was telling us how to get this USD. So maybe one by one, you can just introduce yourself and how your week
Yeah.
went. And yeah, that's just basically how we do it. Introduce yourself, how your week went. So hi Fidelis, good evening. Your name, where you work, what you do, and how your week went.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Daniel Fidelis. I'm a product manager at Venture Garden Growth. Um, Interestingly, I resumed with Venture Garden Group less than a month ago, about 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. And yeah, it has been quite interesting. And last week, I would say last week was a rush. Like I had to balance lots of things at the same time. It was very, very overwhelming, but we came through. We had to launch. We had to launch. A part of our program, a part of our product on Friday, and it went pretty well as planned. But That came with its own set of challenges. The stress, the hard work, trying to put the whole team together to achieve it. But I'll say it was totally worth it. Yeah. This is my first time doing it, so I really don't know how the president should be, but I hope I did well.
You tried. You tried.
Simi, I cite you. Good evening.
Simi knows everybody. Oh, hi, Kenny.
Even though Simi is slying me.
Daniel.
Simi, don't talk.
Simi
Simi,
is
don't talk.
slying me,
Don't talk.
bro.
Don't talk. Don't talk. You tried. You've spoken enough. Allow other people to speak. Hi, Kenny Palms. Good evening. Your name, where you work, what you do, and how your week went. Is he available? Okay, he's not available.
Hi,
August. Oh, he is.
yeah, good evening. My name is Joy, and this is my first time.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Joy. Please forgive me. I saw Kenny.
That's what it is, and I didn't know how to change it, so I just left it like that.
I'm sorry, Joy. Yeah.
All right. So I'm not a PM. I'm just looking for how to transition into the role. I studied science in university. I currently work in customer service in a bank. So it's just nice to be here to learn from you guys and know how to transition basically. And my week was fine. Thank you.
Oh, okay. That's good. I hope you find all your answers. Amen. Augustine, please. Your name, what you do, where you work, and how your week went.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that's all. My name is Augustine, and I work as an optometrist in Uyo, in an international eye organization. So basically, what we do is that we go to communities and we render eye care services for people. Then I also manage the practices here in Uyo. And from my experience, I'm very enthusiastic about tech, and I would not say I'm very vast in programming, but I'm quite good in Python programming. So um, I'm looking forward to like solving problems in health using technology, and at the same time, I'm also very enthusiastic about scientific research and entrepreneurship, right? Business, customer servicing, and all of that. So I feel that a career in product management would help me to like utilize all my pursuits and my skills and help me to really like have a fulfilling career where I can like demonstrate all the skills I want to learn, right? So my friend recommended like this meeting today, and that's been very very insightful. Like um, kudos to people in products. You guys are really doing a great job, and kudos to Sean too. It was a very wonderful session. So I'm looking forward to joining the community so that I could really like learn the ropes of product management and know how to navigate the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Any questions you have, you can just ask on the questions channel on the community. Someone would answer you. If nobody answers you, I will answer you. Thank you so much. Matthew, your name, where you work. Oh, no, don't worry about name. I'm sorry. What you do, where you work, how your week went.
Okay, hi once again, Princess. Thank you for this. Good evening, everyone. I would say I find this group or this Slack channel very exciting and interesting. I actually came about this group on Twitter randomly, and luckily I think it was about the point when this event was out. So I just decided to join. So I currently work as a product owner manager at Alat by Wema, and um, the week has been stressful. That's the way my week are always like. So yeah, because I have a couple of things like I currently manage. So I have to be at everywhere and to have my eyes on everything. So yeah, I hope to be posting more on this channel and also to get to know more people here. I think that would be all.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Osasu, good evening. Where you work, what you do, and how your week went.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Usaso Momo, and I'm currently a product developer for Parks Nigeria. Well, my week has been quite good. I've been working remotely from the house because I'm still in Benin, so I haven't yet relocated to Abuja. Parks Nigeria is in Abuja, and so far it has been awesome. It's been good, stressful, because this is like my first corporate role in products. And my journey into product management actually started 2000.